to the VIP.
Yeah, the IP, VIP.
Don't wait, cause tonight's on me.
It's on me, baby, all on me, yeah.
Sexy models, champagne bottles.
Yeah, the IP, VIP.
Got 2 models, need more bottles.
Bottle when I'm out, got a bottle. There's only one side.
Be Taylor.
Yeah, the IP, VIP. It's on me, baby, all on me, yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Xander Effect. I'm your host, Xander Dames. Got a few things to cover on this Monday afternoon, including in entertainment news. I'm going to talk a little bit about the passing of Nick Cordero at the age of 41 after battling the coronavirus for over 90 days. We'll talk a little bit about that. In sports, President Donald Trump is asking, pretty much demanding an apology from Bubba Wallace, and basically calls the whole news situation that was found in Wallace's garage a hoax. We'll talk a little bit about that. In video game news, it looks like the new game for Shadow Warriors 3 has been announced. We'll go into a little bit of what the details are in that. And also today, I had the opportunity to interview the owner of Mosquito Clothing, which is an amazing company. I got to interview the owner. His name is Nathan Wallace. And not only does he own this clothing company, but he also owns a production company that does music. We'll play one of his songs on today's show and talk a little bit about how he got started and, you know, where the concept of a mosquito, how the mosquito became a mascot and a symbol for his clothing line. But first, here is the brand new premiere, the Xander Effect premiere of Polyna's new song, Angel, right here on the Xander Effect.
This is Larry Namer, the founder of E! Entertainment Television, and you're listening to The Xander Effect.
Yeah. You know, I ain't really want to talk, but you know, I ain't really trying to leave, but I just gotta let you know. Yeah. Speak on it. Yeah. You thought that I stay though. What? But girl, I don't play though. Thought I'd be all dried up like Play-Doh. Come on, one day someone gon' rain on your parade like it's May, but it feel like it's April. Plus I got faith like potatoes. You got Jose like Canseco. But one day you gon' pay like pesos. The gunshot wound look fatal. Plus you ain't got no one to blame it on. You can act like we both got something to say though. Please wait up. Did you think I would wait on everything you told me like back in Diego? Let go my ego, I'm still at the table, waiting for syrup like maple, hoping for courage like I'm in the ghetto. But you know, you were so unfaithful. Even though you cheated, gave you everything you needed, you were still so ungrateful. Man, I gave you everything. You look pretty in them play clothes, but feel dirty in lingerie though. John Doe, new clothes, no label.
Gone, 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 yeah. I'll be leaving tonight. I'll be leaving tonight. Cause you gon' be alone, long, 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 yeah. If you ain't treating me right, if you ain't treating me right.
I could walk about this house right now, but I'd rather stay anime. Truth is we just can't agree. Truth is we just cannot say sorry for everything we did on the way. You say that you forgive me and then have me explain what I did like a kid in a game. You say that our relationship is the way it is, cause my career's in the way. I can water all the flowers in your yard if I could put your tears in a vase. We could beat this thing, if you could be a snare and a bass. Put your head on a pillow, find a house on Zillow, so we can get away. Take the curls out your head, cause you never get it straight. You could be the judge, let me litigate. I could be the criminal, I never get away. After all these good years, you just let it go to waste. But just in case you forgot, here's a catalog of everything we did on the way. Here's a wedding dress, for everything that we did on that day.
I'm gone, 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 yeah. I'll be leaving tonight. I'll be leaving tonight. Cause you gon' be alone, long, 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 yeah. If you ain't treating me right, if you ain't treating me right.
You must know that we can't keep on fighting like this no more. Hey, no more. You must know that I don't have no time for this, baby, no more. No more. You must know that we can't keep on fighting like this no more. Hey, no more. You must know that I don't have no time for this, baby, no more. No more.
I'm gone, 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 yeah. I'll be leaving tonight. I'll be leaving tonight. Cause you gon' be alone, long, 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 yeah. If you ain't treating me right, if you ain't treating me right. I'm gone, 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 yeah. I'll be leaving tonight. I'll be leaving tonight. Cause you gon' be alone, long, 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 yeah. If you ain't treating me right, if you ain't treating me right.
That was John Doe's Gone, right here on the Xander Effect. In entertainment news, this week we were faced with the unfortunate passing of Nick Cordero. The 41-year-old Rock of Ages waitress, Bullets Over Broadway, and A Bronx Tale, the musical Broadway performer, was infected by the COVID-19 virus in March. And unfortunately, he did not survive it. He spent over 90 days in the hospital, as to which he basically underwent so many physical tribulations. He had to get his leg amputated due to COVID-19 complications. He was placed on a temporary pacemaker and put in a medically induced coma. just when his wife believed that, his wife Amanda Klutz, just when she believed that he was about to start making a recovery, she was already going to start beginning plans on rehab and everything due to his amputated leg. Things took a turn, and unfortunately, he passed away over the weekend. He is survived by his wife Amanda Klutz and their child. And Amanda went on social media, and she went ahead and said, quote, "God has another angel in heaven now. My darling husband passed away this morning. He was surrounded in love by his family, singing and praying as he gently left this earth. I am in disbelief and hurting everywhere. My heart is broken as I cannot imagine our lives without him. Nick was such a bright light. He was everyone's friend, loved to listen, help, and especially talk. He was an incredible actor and musician. He loved his family and loved being a father and husband. Elvis and I will miss him in everything we do every day. To Nick's extraordinary doctor, Dr. David Ning, you were my positive doctor. There are not many doctors like you. Kind, smart, compassionate, assertive, and always eager to listen to my crazy ideas or call yet another doctor for me for a second opinion. You're a diamond in the rough. I cannot begin to thank everyone enough for the outpour of love, support, and help we've received these last 95 days. You have no idea how much you lifted my spirits at 3 p.m. every day as the world sang Nick's song, Live Your Life. We sang it to him today, holding his hands, as I sang the last line to him. Quote, they'll give you hell, but don't you let them kill your light, not without a fight. Live your life. I smiled because he definitely put up a fight. I will love you forever and always, my sweet man. My condolences go to the Cordero family and to his wife Amanda Klutz. Like this, folks, it's one of those things where we need to understand that there are reasons why guidelines have been placed from the CDC for everybody to listen. Put your masks on when you go out in public. Hell, put them on even when you're when you're on one-on-one with somebody. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't want to put your family through this. You don't want to put yourself through this type of hell that's going on with this coronavirus. Please listen to the guidelines that the CDC has placed for our protection, for everybody's protection. Screw the conspiracy theorists. Screw that. Why even take a chance? Okay, fine. For example, let's say, for argument's sake, that maybe this is, quote, a hoax or whatever. Do you really want to take that chance with your life? There's so many people that call this a hoax that are now infected with the virus. How in the world is that a hoax? Can somebody please explain that one to me? It doesn't make any sense. So before you start listening to conspiracy theories, how about you start actually listening to real things that are going on, to the numbers that keep on going on the rise? If you want to live in ignorance, then live in ignorance. But at the very least, don't take your chance at getting infected. And please, be safe with this virus. Take it from a person that just lost a loved one. Take it from so many that have lost loved ones, or that have loved ones in critical condition, or that have loved ones that are infected with this virus. Take it from them. In other entertainment news, Mandy Moore decides to respond to her ex-husband Ryan Adams' apology for his harmful behavior. Over the weekend, Ryan Adams went ahead and said, quote, there are no words to express how bad I feel about the ways I've mistreated people throughout my life and career. Now, Mandy Moore, she didn't take too kindly to that, because she basically, she went on the Today Monday morning show and said, quote, it's challenging because I feel like in many ways I've said all I want to say about him and that situation. But I find it curious that someone would make a public apology but not do it privately. I am speaking for myself, but I have not heard from him, and I'm not looking for an apology necessarily. But I do find it curious that someone would do an interview about it without actually making amends privately. Now, obviously, she's a little upset about that, which that makes a lot of sense because if a person's making that type of an apology, it mainly could be for publicity reasons, and sometimes it could be taken as, this apology is made so that way people don't hate me anymore. And at the end of the day, you don't want something like that. You want to do it sincerely. So I can understand why Mandy Moore is feeling a certain way about that public apology. So, I understand what she's saying about that. Adams is basically the subject of a 2019 New York Times investigation that basically they interviewed a multitude of women who claimed emotional abuse or severe manipulation by Adams. And there was even reports of sexually explicit texts that said that were exchanged between Adams and another woman while she was underage. So there's a lot of controversy surrounding Adams. And Mandy Moore apparently is not, she's not trusting that public apology, nor is she liking it too much. So there's that. In other entertainment news, Chris Hemsworth is planning on getting even bigger than he looked on Thor. So, ladies and gentlemen, looks like, the guy is going to get even bigger because he is doing a biopic, which is awesome, by the way. I heard about what the biopic is for a Hulk Hogan role. He's playing the role of Hulk Hogan in a new Hulk Hogan biopic that's set to come out, soon. And apparently, it seems that he's not. The way he looked on Thor is not anywhere near that. He's getting even bigger. He went ahead and he said, quote, "As you can imagine, the preparation for the role will be insanely physical. I will have to put on more size than I ever have before, even more than I put on for Thor. There is the accent as well as the physicality and the attitude." And apparently, according to reports, he's also going to be doing blading, which, if you guys aren't familiar with blading, it basically means that when you're wrestling, well, this is something that wrestlers used to do, and that is that when they're wrestling, you know how they bleed when you get a chair shot and all of a sudden they're gushing blood out of nowhere? Well, the chair really didn't do that because chairs are mainly made of aluminum. They're not really that lethal, and they don't have that. They sound worse than they feel, according to a lot of wrestlers. And what happens is that blading is a result of wrestlers getting handed by referees, or they have it stuck inside their hand tape, a small little razor blade where they go ahead and they cut their forehead and allow pretty much nature to take its course and just bleeds out and out and out and gushes out. And the more their opponent keeps on pounding on that spot, the wider the injury gets in that particular spot where they just did the blading. So now you know a little bit about wrestling. So apparently Chris Hemsworth is going to be doing that to himself. No idea why, because obviously this is a movie, so I don't understand why he would actually be blading. But who knows how intense or how real this is gonna get. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually wondering how this movie is gonna be like. Another thing that Chris Hemsworth is gonna be featuring is the handlebar mustache. Yes, Hulk Hogan has a trademark handlebar mustache that he's had since he started his career in professional wrestling, and Chris Hemsworth is definitely going to go ahead and sport that mustache. So he's going to have that going. So like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious, though, as to when they're going to do a biopic on the man himself, the one that created wrestling, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, there were rumors that they were gonna do a biopic actually on Vince McMahon, and the other rumor that was surrounding that was that Bradley Cooper was actually going to play the role of Vince McMahon in Vince McMahon's biopic. But obviously that was a rumor; it never actually came to pass, which is unfortunate because I would have wanted to see that movie. Especially, it talks about the creator, the one that started all, not Vince McMahon Sr., but Vince McMahon Jr. Vince McMahon Sr. did start the wrestling organization, the WWF, World Wrestling Federation. At the time, they changed the name to the World Wrestling Entertainment. But Vince McMahon is the one that really made it a market success. I mean, Vince McMahon's the one that blew up the WWE. So I really would be interested in seeing that biopic, specifically because, I mean, you're talking about the guy that created wrestling, the guy that started it all, So, I mean, hopefully, though, like, after the possible success of this biopic, of Hulk Hogan's biopic, maybe they'll come up with the biopic for Vince McMahon. So you never know. We'll see what happens. In other entertainment news, I had the opportunity to speak with Mosquito Brand's owner, Nathan Walsh. And he basically talked to me a little bit about how he got his clothing brand started and how he got the very interesting idea of making a mosquito basically the brand's mascot and, what it represents. But first, here is Mosquito Productions, Something New, right here on the Xander Effect.
You are now listening to a Mosquito production. Left for something new. Left for something new.
So on the Xander Effect, I have the owner of Year of the Mosquito clothing brand, Nathan Walsh. Nathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks. I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I got to tell you, your clothing line, man, it's very unique, but it's, it's not just clothing. We just got done listening to one of your songs, that you produced called Something New. And, it's very interesting because I hardly ever, I hardly ever hear of a clothing brand that, that doesn't start off in music first and then go into clothing. You're kind of doing it simultaneously where you're implementing both music and clothing at the same time.
Yes, I try to exhaust all of my possibilities.
No, that's really good, though. That's really good. So talk to me about how Year of the Mosquito began. I mean, how did all this concept come to be?
Well, one day I was recording because I'm also a studio engineer, and we was just trying to figure out a name and a concept or a logo for our brand. Mm-hmm. And then I was recording one night, and I seen a mosquito. So we tried to basically kill the mosquito, and I was like, I think we should run with that. I think this might be a sign, and we should run with that. And I knew, considering my imagination, if I put the right team together, we would actually make it work as far as illustrators, web developers, the right producers on the team. And so we pretty much just ran with it.
Nice. And it's a very interesting concept. And is that the reason why the name Year of the Mosquito, because it happened in that year and you saw the mosquito, so you put the two together?
Mainly it's more like a metaphor because we're prone on like anti-racism. It's also an anti-racism brand. Mm-hmm. And so we basically, the concept is like unifying bloodlines through music and fashion. So meanwhile, we're showcasing our love for music and science fiction. We want to unify the people, basically.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a great thing to have, especially now, with everything that's going on. That's actually a really, positive type of concept to, be sharing to the public. I mean, and as far as you're concerned, Nathan, did you always, how did you get started into the world of fashion and music?
Well, I always loved fashion growing up. I always loved fashion. I always wanted to get into it. So I was like, just do it. Let's just get into it. Let's just, learn as we go along. There's going to be a lot of trials and error, of course, but I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to get started and just learn as I go along. One of my motivational speakers, Les Brown, he said, grow wings on your way down. Take the leap, grow wings on your way down. And that's what we basically did.
And what about the music portion of it?
The music, I grew up learning how to play the piano. So I was always fond of music. I always wanted to get into that as well. We all chipped in, purchased a computer, and we just started making beats. This started in, I'd say, 1998.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just a bunch of kids with dreams, started making music, and we just grew from there.
Nice. And you know what? I could tell that you come from that era, because in one of your shirts that I actually really liked, it showed the old Nintendo cartridge on it. And I was like, oh man, I remember those right there. So that's actually a really cool design that you guys came up with on that one.
Yes, I definitely had to do that. It's 80s based, basically.
A lot of it. Yeah, no, and it's really cool because, I mean, it has a lot to do with, a lot of your designs have a lot to do with Asian anime.
Yeah, I grew up also watching a lot of anime like Ninja Scroll, and as opposed to the kids watching Sesame Street and Power Rangers, I was already fixated on sci-fi horror, so I really never related to the kids in my class. I was watching horror films like The Thing by John Carpenter, heavy metal, cartoons like that. Definitely that wasn't for children, basically. So
you decided, so in seeing that, you ended up, implementing that into your clothing line as well.
Yes.
Nice. And so talk to me a little bit about, I mean, on your website, because you have an awesome website. It's got a lot of Asian anime, a lot of music in it and everything like that. Another thing that I noticed is that you also promote novels.
Oh, I'm also a writer. I failed to mention that. I'm also a writer.
Nice.
And I have a book on Amazon called Pursuit of the Zodiacs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's being revised because I want to fix the plot a little, update the plot. And I write a bunch of short stories.
And what is the book about exactly? Can you give us a little bit of insight on what it's about?
Well, the book is about a bunch of Zodiac characters that's trying to, it's a fight against good and evil. Mm-hmm. All the characters, the actions of each character is based off the Zodiac traits. So let's say, for instance, Leo and Virgo's outside. Leo's gonna just run into the house and try and save as much people as he can, while Virgo, she's gonna fall back and analyze before she even decides to enter. So each Zodiac trait is based off the outcome of whether or not they survive whatever ordeal they're going through.
And how did you come up with this type of concept for a book?
I'm also into Zodiac astrology, and I love to write.
So it was basically just, because of the love of Zodiac, of Zodiac signs and stuff like that, is how you created, characters for these different for the different Zodiac signs.
Yes.
Awesome. Actually, that's a very unique concept. I'm an Aries, and I've always wondered, what kind of a character an Aries would be like. How do you have Aries portrayed in the book?
Oh, Aries, she's a beast in this book. You're gonna really love her character. She's basically a go-getter, and she don't take stuff from anybody.
That sounds about right. That's really cool. What about now you got me curious about the different zodiac signs, the different personalities. What about my dad's a Cancer. What about Cancer? What's Cancer like?
Cancer. His character. His character is basically he's very loyal. And he's trying to find himself in the book, trying to see his purpose in life through everything that's going on between the battle between good and evil, and he's just looking for companionship while combating what's going on. But I can't really put too much detail into it because I don't want to give off the story.
No, okay. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I mean, I'm curious as to, because in every story, there's always a hero or a heroine. Who's the hero? Which sign did you put in there as the hero or the heroine of the story?
It's mixed. Some of them's evil, some of them's good.
Oh yeah, because you always
as far
have
as the Zodiac characters.
You always have zodiacs that are good and evil in real life as well. So that's really interesting. That's really interesting how you decided to go ahead and do that. What about the other short stories that you've created? What are those about? And how can people find them?
I have yet to release the short stories, but they're just random stories about certain dreams I've had, and I would just write them down and just add a plot to them so everything will make sense.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, when do you think you're going to be able to release all that? Hopefully
to 2021.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when everything starts calming down a little bit, especially right now. You also have mosquito apps on your site. What's that about?
Oh yeah, I made an app similar to Flappy Birds. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. The old Flappy Birds app. So basically,
yeah.
So you're trying to swat the mosquito, but at the same time, you're trying to beat the next man's best score.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds definitely like something so it's basically just a game.
Yeah, it's a game similar to Flappy Birds. If you want to check that out.
Oh, okay. And you also have like memes as well for chatting and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's a certain app I made for memes.
I gotta check that out. I'm gonna have to download that one because that looks actually pretty cool.
It's based off on mosquitoes.
Yeah, all of it. That's really cool. That's actually really innovative. How you really dove into studying this insect very thoroughly, because it seems that there's mosquitoes of different types, like different.
Yeah, there's over 1,000 species of mosquitoes, and just on the concept of it alone, because you're not too small to make an impact. You understand what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody's gonna fall asleep knowing that there's a mosquito in the room, Mm-hmm. So I apply that to my life, that you're not small enough to make an impact to this world. So I'm just trying to do my part by expressing my art, my music, all the while trying to combat racism and things that's keeping us behind.
Agreed. No, that's a very good message to send out. I like how you have, such a small insect pretty much taking over the entire planet.
Yeah, another metaphor. If everybody sees the logo. I have two logos. One's called Genesis, and one is called Exodus. Genesis is basically projecting the mosquito that's on top of the world. It's about to inject it. And that concept is like the beginning of our mission in unifying bloodlines through music and fashion. And the Exodus logo, which projects the world inside the mosquito, basically is the completion of our objective in unifying the people. So it's a lot to grasp. I understand that, but
no, I mean, but it's like, because everybody looks at mosquitoes as something negative, as a freaking bug that carries, disease, and just, it's just a bug. It just, when it bites you, you itch, you know, but you've actually turned that around and created it into something actually positive, you know, for many people to go ahead and be able to relate to.
Yes, those that know me know that I love challenges. I told everybody, you know what, I'm going to make this right, as opposed to everybody saying, you know what, this is not going to work. But I know my imagination. I know what I want to do in life. I know, I just basically wanted a challenge, and I knew I could turn it around with the right team behind me. So that's pretty much what I did.
And it looks like you have, because I mean, it seems that it's going very well for you. I mean, you know, the designs are very innovative. They're very unique. They're very animated. You know, and you have a lot of really cool designs. I personally liked a lot of them myself. I was like, yeah, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. You know, so you know, there's
working hard.
That's the way you gotta be. One design that I also noticed is two mosquitoes kind of like doing MMA style. Are you also into MMA as well?
Oh yeah, I used to box for a while, and I always watched UFC, and I just love the whole culture of it. You know, the discipline and everything that comes with it.
So a lot of these designs also are from your own personal, likes, pretty much, the stuff that you like to do, your own personality.
You're getting a glimpse of me, basically.
Nice. Well, that's a really cool. That you got a very wide range of personalities that you got there. So that's really cool. You have a very creative, mind there.
Yeah, I don't want to leave no stone unturned before we ascend out of here.
No, that's really cool. So, I mean, during this time of quarantine that everything's been going on, how has that affected your business at all, or has that actually made your business prosper even more?
Things have been challenging, but at the same time, I feel great. Once this thing blows over, I should see an influx of entrepreneurs, innovators, trendsetters. So this is a great time, to be honest. If we learned anything from this, it should tell us that nothing is a guarantee as far as, a job, things of that nature, and that everybody should look forward to having multiple streams of income, and not just settle. So This is a great time to just go and just be a go-getter. Just do what you love to do and don't settle. So if anything, that's what I learned from all this. So it's not about why is this happening to me. It's more on the lines of what can I learn from this, and what can I do?
No, and that's definitely something that a lot of people need to understand. And I always refer back to one of my old episodes where I talked about how there are silver linings to this pandemic that many people haven't really been able to grasp yet. The lessons that we should be learning.
Exactly. This is a huge lesson. If you leave 2020 as the same as you entered, then you have wasted 2020, in my opinion. We should all leave 2020 with a, thicker skin, and it should be nothing but up from here, because we've just been hit with everything.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
Oh yeah. No, it's been a tough year. It's definitely been a tough year from the very start. And it continues on, especially with a lot of, not just the pandemic, but the protests as well. The violence between, police and the citizens and everything. It's been a really rough year. And, for a person that pretty much promotes unity and bloodlines, I mean, how, has all these different, controversies, inspired you? Because I've seen that you've put out a couple of, new shirts and everything. But I mean, this, the message of anti-racism and everything like that's been going on since you started this. So everything else that's going on right now must have enhanced it even more.
Oh, absolutely. My business, it didn't take much of a hit because, before COVID, I was contracted with 10 stores. They was going to sell my apparel out of there. And due to COVID, those 10 stores shut down. So I was kind of depressed about that. But you just got to pick yourself up, roll with the punches, and just realize that you're the master of your own destiny. You can't, what are you going to do? You just got to keep going, keep moving forward. no matter what. That's why I coined the phrase God sector, because it doesn't matter what's going on. You have to create no matter what.
And that's definitely a good way to look at it, and like I said, it's also an opportunity to be more creative. A lot of people have become more creative while they've been, stuck indoors, and they've been focused more, because there's always distractions around you. So being stuck inside, pretty much in your own personal prison has made you much more creative. Look at TikTok. It's been blown up like crazy by so many creative people. That's just the way it is, And as far as you're concerned, like I said, it seems that it's inspired your creativity even more.
Absolutely. You just have to learn to adapt. Like I said, roll with the punches and just create. This is the time to just go crazy, do whatever.
And that includes music as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. I haven't put down the keyboard yet.
I was gonna ask if you've gotten anything in the works coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm always working. The team is always working. I always encourage them to just stay focused, and because also Mosquito is an acronym. The way I spell it, MOSQIDOU.
Mm-hmm.
Motivate, manifest, manufacture, master your mind, and monetize your gifts. Outwork yourself, stay focused, question everything, invest in yourself, and inspire others. And the remaining letters, DOU, stand for do you, just do you, because everything could be collapsing around you, but it won't have any effect because you've basically been doing you. So don't become reliant on anybody. Don't depend on anybody. Just make sure you're doing your part, make sure you're doing your work, and make sure you're just creating.
Agreed. And so, obviously you definitely practice what you preach, because you've been creating like crazy right now. And that's always good to have, that's always good to continue to just keep on moving forward and not stop, because once you're at a stalemate, then it's not good.
And another thing too, another narrative that's been pushed around is your comfort zone can kill you. Like, it took me a while to even accept having to push myself to go on to a podcast. As if you don't know, I'm kind of already nervous, but I'm stepping outside my comfort zone. I've never really been interviewed, so I'm just trying this out. And I'm leaving no stone unturned.
Hey, I'm glad. Let me tell you something. I always go ahead and try to do the best I can to make sure that all my guests are as comfortable as possible. This is definitely, many people can't really, do an interview the first time. They're very nervous. Like my friends always say, you got to push through like a hippo in labor.
That's funny.
It's the truth. So, but it's really cool to like have you on here. And how can people stalk you on social media?
My Instagram is Year of the Mosquito, just how it sounds. And my website is mosquito.com, MOSQIDOU.
Awesome. Well, Nathan, thank you so much for being on the Xander Effect, man. I wish you much more success and luck, and I look forward to more of your designs and more of your music from your website and from Year of the Mosquito.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks for inviting me on your platform.
No worries, man. We'll talk soon. Take care.
You too. Thanks.
So much, Nathan, for being on the Xander Effect. And remember, you could go on his website to check out a lot of the Mosquito brand clothing and to listen to a lot of his music, a lot of the Mosquito Productions music. Really good stuff on that website. In sports, President Donald Trump is basically demanding an apology from Bubba Wallace and calling the incident about the noose that was found actually in Bubba Wallace's garage at NASCAR a hoax. He went ahead and he tweeted, quote, "Has Bubba Wallace apologized to all of those great NASCAR drivers and officials who came to his aid, stood by his side, and were willing to sacrifice everything for him, only to find out that the whole thing was just another hoax? That and flag decision has caused lowest ratings ever." Now, obviously, 45 is referring to the news that was found in Bubba Wallace's garage. Trump's car was crashed. One of the cars had Trump 2020 on it, and it was pretty much destroyed in one of the races. So he's talking about that, which I have no idea what one has to do with the other. But the bottom line is that POTUS is definitely upset at Bubba Wallace and is lashing out at him. Even though this incident happened 2 weeks ago, he's barely starting to get through it now. And, he's upset at NASCAR for many reasons. But apparently there's other drivers that have Bubba Wallace's back, including up-and-coming driver Tyler Reddick, who basically responded and said, quote, "We don't need an apology. We did what was right, and we will do just fine without your support." So looks like POTUS does not have NASCAR's, seal of approval or their support whatsoever. They don't really care about what he says, and they're moving forward. In other sports news, it is official. Jorge Masvidal will go up against Kamaru Usman at UFC 251. That's going to be the new main event, seen as Gilbert Burns was forced to withdraw due to the fact that he is infected with coronavirus and cannot compete anymore. So enter Jorge Masvidal, who is now the replacement for Burns and for that fight. So both of them will go at it against each other. Now, there's been already an exchange of words. Usman already is saying that they were interviewing him, and at a press conference, they asked him if he wanted Masvidal to put the BMF title on the line as well, and Usman said, "Sure, why not?" Usman basically sees the title as a participation trophy that the kids would get. Really doesn't mean much to him, and the way he basically said was that, have Masvidal bring the title, and what happens is that I'll take that title from him as well and just throw it in my closet or whatever, So, Usman not putting that much emphasis or that much value in the BMF title, and in essence also not putting that much value towards Masvidal. So he sees this as a fight that isn't going to be that difficult, and he's going to be able to beat Masvidal very quickly. But obviously Masvidal, doesn't see it that way, and he is a good fighter. So this should be a very, very good match. It's going to be taking place at Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. So that is definitely going to be a very interesting fight. Looking forward to that one. In other sports news, looks like COVID-19 continues to strike the NBA, as now sources are saying that the Bucks and the Kings have shut practice facilities down after receiving the coronavirus results. So far, it seems that one member of the Sacramento Kings' traveling party tested positive for COVID-19, and this is a source told ESPN. ESPN's The Undefeated, and basically the Kings also plan to keep their practice facility closed through their departure for Orlando on Wednesday. The Bucks and the Kings are, just two of the teams included in a number of teams that are also, pretty much shutting down practice. This includes the Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat, LA Clippers, and the Brooklyn Nets. So far, these teams have shut down their facilities for workouts this past week due to the fact of the matter that there have been positive COVID-19 test results among staff and players. So they will be doing that as well. It's a very difficult situation. I'm still saying that the NBA may have to reconsider reopening the season due to this outbreak of COVID-19. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if the commissioner is going to have to reconsider or reevaluate the situation before actually allowing this bubble environment to proceed as planned. We'll see what happens. Coming up next in video game news, the Shadow Warrior 3 has been announced. We'll go into some details as to what the game will be about. But first, another Xander Effect premiere. Here is Allie Yo's Sea la Cruz right here on the Xander Effect.
Hey guys, this is Ian Guerin, and you're listening to the Xander Effect.
I always knew if I lost you I'd die, and I'm losing you now, so I'm so terrified. I'm so terrified. Some say I'm a fool for standing for you, but how can I not if I once said I would be there for you? Be there for you. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and I wanna take you out to lunch, but I call on your phone and I go to your home, and you know where to be found. Where are you now? Nothing's changed since you walked through that door, and the moment that we shared, I still hear in my heart. I miss wrapping you in my arms, but I cannot look back, so I cry. 'Cause it hurts to fall in love with a prisoner wall, and it hurts me even more that you don't even know. Every time I heard your voice, I was falling in love, and I cried deep inside. They say big boys don't cry. They say big girls survive. Forget those stereotypes. The day you left, I died. You were the strings of my guitar and the key to my heart. So forgive me if I ask, if I text but you reply. It's been 4 beautiful Sundays. I've been meaning to take you to lunch, but I call on your phone and you're not alone. It hurts to know I'm now on my own. My feelings haven't changed since you walked through that door, and the moments that we shared, I still hear in my heart. I miss wrapping you in my arms, but I cannot look back, so I cry. 'Cause it hurts to fall in love with a person who won't, and it hurts me even more that you don't even know. Every time I heard your voice, I was falling in love, and I cried deep inside. So I'ma take the stream of me and you, baby, and I'ma throw it out 'cause I'm just sick, baby, of your lies and your cheating, your deceit and your scheming, your false love and daydreaming, being the friend that just listens, baby girl. If you're leaving, just be sure that you're leaving, 'cause I won't take you back. You'll be out of my life. No more Mr. Nice Guy for you. Cause it hurts to fall in love with a person who won't, and it hurts me even more that you don't even know. Every time I hear your voice, I was falling in love, and I cried. 'Cause my feelings haven't changed since you walked through the door, and the moment that we shared, I still hear in my heart. I'm just wrapping in my arms, but I cannot look back. My home isn't home since you walked through the door. My heart doesn't know who he is anymore. Should I just give you up? Stop my cry, let you go.
That was Ian Guerin's Cry right here on the Xander Effect. In video game news, Shadow Warrior 3 has been announced by Flying Wild Hogs and Devolver Digital. They went ahead and they released a trailer for the new game that is set to come out in 2021. Nobody really knows, they don't really have a set date as to when in 2021 it'll be out. They did say that they will get a PC release, but no specific console has been announced yet, where it's going to be released. They still don't know which console it's going to be released on, or on both the new consoles, which is PlayStation and Xbox. You don't know. The trailer was actually very entertaining, and It reminds me a bit of Deadpool because it basically is about, it's the anti-hero Lo Wang, and he's on the hunt to recapture an ancient dragon. Him and his sidekick Orochizilla have, basically accidentally freed. And Lo Wang's character is pretty funny. Kind of, he reminds me a little bit of Deadpool. He's got that sense of humor thing going, that smart ass sense of humor, which is pretty hilarious. And the trailer is very, very bloody, very gory. He goes ahead and he battles these three monsters, and one of them at the very start he uppercuts him. The monster's head goes flying, and blood is just gushing out of the monster's body. You gotta watch the trailer. It's on. You could watch it on IGN.com. You could also watch it on YouTube. But the trailer is really hilarious, and it's almost an announcement for their gameplay. The gameplay, broadcast that they're thinking about doing, that Devolver's Direct is going to be doing on July 11th. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. The game looks pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I really wouldn't mind playing it. It looks pretty bloody, pretty gory, which is pretty cool. I'm weird like that. What can I say? But I'm looking forward to it. And, again, we'll go ahead and wait to see when and where it will be released in 2021. That's the news, in case you haven't heard it. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, there is still a pandemic going. Numbers, unfortunately, are going up. As I mentioned very early on in the broadcast, Nick Cordero's passing is just one of thousands of examples of what's going on in the world right now with the coronavirus. Please remember to take precautions, practice social distancing, wear your masks when you go out, or even if you don't go out and you're just talking to somebody casually one-on-one, still wear your masks anyway. Wear your gloves when you go out if you got them, wear your goggles if you got them. Stay safe for yourself and for your family members, and remember, music always heals all. We'll see you next time.
Yo. I be tell I told. Yeah, you did. They ain't believe it though. One life. Do Brown. Same game, be telling. What up? Woo! So we kick it like it's kickball. Power couple. She drippin' in that Dolce Gabbana. They wanna touch her. Everybody know that's do girl. What you gon' do by it? Me and her take on the world. Now that's a truth.
Hey everyone, the Xander Effect is powered by 50/50 Global Music Inc., Sony Music, The Orchard, and BMG Bertelsmann Group, in association with Art 19 Media.